Interesting programme going out tonight on BBC One on Panorama. It's looking at the world's leading virtual currency as it moves into the mainstream. It's called Bitcoin. Some people have made millions out of cryptocurrencies. Others don't have the trust in virtual money. So what are Bitcoins? What is this alternative currency in general in this area that's being developed? We've been hearing a lot about them in the news at the moment, but does anybody really know what they are or how they work? Well, one man who should be able to explain all of this to us is Siam. He is the realistic trader and based in Blowfield. Very good morning to you.
Morning.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for having me.
So, first of all, what is Bitcoin and what are cryptocurrencies?
Well, Bitcoin is simply a crypto. There's about 1,500 of them, and cryptos are secured and governed by cryptographic algorithms. Now, that sounds all very fancy, but what it means is that I can send money directly to you, Nick, without any middlemen middlemen, basically.
Yeah. And it's not just really about the money, it's about the technology underneath it, which could really change the way that we operate.
Oh, massively. So, we're in a short-term, highly speculative bubble at the moment, which will pop, just like the original tech bubble. But like the original tech bubble, the core underlying technology will survive, like the internet. And so when this bubble eventually pops, it's the blockchain technology and crypto tech which will survive and then very will prosper.
Yeah, getting away from the fact that I love to remind everybody that this is a fiat currency, sterling, that we've got at the moment, as are many other currencies around the world. But if somebody said to you, you want me to take my real money and you want me to throw it into the internet, you must be mad.
Well, many people said that in the mid-90s when the internet was kicking off, and we had all sorts of people saying, well, who are you going to send your electronic mails to? No one has an email address. Well, fast forward 20 years, everyone has an email address and the whole world depends on email. And at the moment, there's a little use case at the moment. It's 1% utility value and 99% hype, future dreams and greed. But give it 3 years and like most people have a Bitcoin or a crypto wallet of some sort. And the main thing here is that you're taking sovereignty of your own wealth. So you're basically controlling your wealth and not letting any of the governments steal it, so to speak.
I remember doing an item about Bitcoin, and it was just about Bitcoin, about 5 or 6 years ago. And on the back of it, I said, this is really interesting, and I can see the merit in what they're putting forward as an idea here, which had already launched at that point. But I walked away and did nothing with it. If I had invested in it then I would have been significantly wealthier than I am. I think a lot of people have got that story. So actually, if you think about the rise of Bitcoin, if you did have the foresight to invest in it a few years ago, you'd have made a lot of money already.
Yes, indeed. In 2010, it was about 5 cents a Bitcoin, and right now, even with the current dip, it's hovering around $9,000. So I think at the peak it went up 3.3 million%, which is crazy. In the short term, it is the biggest bubble ever.
It can make me cry. Okay, well, here comes the big question then. People listening in this morning who might say, we're running a story this morning about bricks and mortar, and I think a lot of people feel something's got to happen in the housing market. At some point, surely it's got to go bang.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel that this inflated market at the moment is superficial, yet we trust it. People look at banks and we trust them, though recently we've had lots of examples where there have been problems. So if someone said to you, okay, I want to do something different with my money, but how safe is this whole market? Because you can be hacked, people can run off with your cash.
Yep.
If you don't save things properly online, you could lose it all. Doesn't sound very safe in the eyes of some.
True. At the moment, this is the wild, wild west, and ultimately it comes down to the protection of your private key. Now, this is, again, a fancy word for basically your PIN number. So if you lose your PIN or tell people your PIN, you give away access to your bank account, and it's exactly the same with your crypto wallet. So, and also not much is insured at the moment, but again, give it 12 months, your deposits will be insured.
So if I said how well regulated is it? I suppose at the moment it's not particularly well regulated, but that's changing?
No, not at all. But regulations will come in. You have to understand that, well, anyone dealing with cryptos, there will be heavy regulations coming in across the world. And the main reason for that is that every country's main income stream is tax revenue. And governments around the world are seeing all of these profits being made, Bitcoin billionaires and whatnot, and they simply want their tax which is owed to the crown, so to speak.
Yeah. So it's interesting how announcements are made around the world. South Korea was one recently. I understand, I've not seen this, but there was, this is from the States, The Americans have said, this is the government has said, that Bitcoin is good, apparently. So we might see a rise in terms of the value of Bitcoin today, which may well be flattened by Panorama later on. But the interesting thing here is people might be listening and they think, I can make some money out of this.
Yeah.
But would you say, A, be cautious, B, what about the strategy? Because as the public rush in, the trader should exit.
I completely agree. We actually have, in the simple terms, two of the biggest personal wealth leapfrogging opportunities in history. So yes, in the short term, I reckon this will probably all start to pop in about 18 months' time, but we are at the bottom of the curve at the moment. If you look at the global crypto market cap, it's about $0.4 trillion, and the bubble will not pop until around $10 trillion minimum.
Who regulates the cap?
So the market cap is basically all the money sloshing around in the market. So it's basically everyone putting the money into it.
So the more money that goes in, the higher the cap.
Yeah, so basically we have at least 20 times growth before we get anywhere near peak bubble, so to speak. So this is why we need to get in now before the public do, because believe it or not, bubbles are only popped by the public. So the public tend to do the wrong thing at the wrong time. At the moment, the public may have heard about Bitcoin, but if you've asked, have you heard of Neo or Nano or XRP or all of these others, they probably haven't, and not many people are investing at the moment.
How easy is it? Because if I want to go to the bank and I say, look, I want to open up an ISA, or I want to go to an investment firm and say, here's X amount of thousands of pounds, could you invest this for me? They'll take a fee, and they'll say, yes, we invest in this area and that area. Simple. But if I then had to go online, I've got to find websites, I've got to transfer what from a fiat currency across to a cryptocurrency, then into another cryptocurrency. I've got to look at these ridiculously long numbers where the decimal point moves all over the place. The fact that it's inaccessible to the public, let me put this to you, that's not a bad thing for traders at the moment, because as the technology moves over the next 24 months, more people come into the market. The moment it becomes easy for the public is the moment that
boom,
the likes of your boom.
Yeah, floodgates. Basically, it's one of the main choke points at the moment. Getting your pounds into cryptos is a tricky barrier to entry unless you're very technically savvy. But it's exactly the same with the internet bubble. It took 4 minutes to load a web page back then, and you couldn't really trade it unless you had a direct market access to with a main bank. However, getting towards sort of 1999, 2000, it was really easy to open up your internet trading account, and every man and his dog was buying silly tech stocks that were worth millions, but it only had a business plan, no office, no staff, no product, etc. And it's almost identical this time round. So yes, over the next, at the moment, really, there's about 3 sites or exchanges where you can change your pounds into cryptos, but give it even 4 months and we're going to see about 20 different gateways, so to speak. So yeah,
really good to meet you this morning. In fact, I know you've got a dog, so we're talking this morning about dogs that do amazing tricks. Come confess, is your dog trained in any area especially, or is it just a lovely dog?
Pips is our senior trading consultant.
Oh. Right, okay, I'll interview him next then.
Yeah.
Great to have you on. Siam Kid from The Realistic Trader. They're based in Blowfield.